In the gentle embrace of a quiet room, a voice emerges, warm and inviting, creating an instant connection with those listening. The speaker shares a personal journey intertwined with the experiences of many who grapple with the challenges of living with hernias. It's a struggle that resonates deeply, one that speaks to the essence of vulnerability and hope. As stories unfold, tales of resilience and moments of uncertainty weave a narrative that captivates, reminding everyone that they are not alone in their battles. The speaker paints vivid pictures, not just of pain and discomfort, but of the small victories that come with understanding their bodies. There's something profoundly empowering in knowing that the choices we make every day, particularly at mealtime, can influence our overall well-being. A curious question lingers in the air, inviting introspection. Have you ever considered how the foods you choose to place on your plate directly influence how you feel? This inquiry serves as a gateway to deeper contemplation about nutrition, opening up a conversation about its critical role in health, especially concerning conditions like hernias. The acknowledgement of personal struggles strikes a chord, creating a space where listeners can reflect on their own experiences. Everyone has been there, staring at a plate of food, wondering how a seemingly innocent choice may contribute to their discomfort. This journey into the intricate relationship between diet and health beckons. It's not just about the physical. It's a holistic exploration of how what we consume shapes our lives, our moods, and our capacity to thrive. As the narrative unfolds, there's an unmistakable sense of camaraderie, a shared understanding that navigating health is a collective endeavor. The speaker encourages contemplation about the past, inviting individuals to ponder their eating patterns and the impact these habits may have on their bodies. It becomes clear that food is more than just sustenance. It is a powerful tool that can promote healing, or, conversely, contribute to pain. In this moment of connection, a path begins to emerge, leading towards greater awareness and choice. The listener is not just a passive recipient of information, but is invited to actively participate in their journey towards wellness. This introduction not only sets the stage for a deeper exploration of hernias and their nuances, but also ignites a spark of curiosity about the healing potential that lies within the food we eat. As the speaker reflects on the importance of understanding one's body and the choices one makes, it becomes apparent that this journey has just begun, and the possibilities ahead are boundless. In the hushed ambience of the room, the voice continues its soothing cadence, carrying stories that beckon listeners to lean in closer. There's a palpable sense of anticipation as the speaker delves into the heart of a subject that hits home for so many, the intricate dance between diet and the often unspoken reality of hernias. As the speaker recounts experiences, a vivid tapestry begins to form, one woven with threads of everyday struggles and enlightening revelations. They tell of a young woman, Jenna, who had carried the weight of her hernia not only in her abdomen, but also in her heart. Each day was a constant negotiation, a delicate balancing act between savoring her favorite foods and the gnawing worry of subsequent pain. Yet within Jenna's story lies a transformation. Inspired by the notion that perhaps food could serve as both comfort and remedy, she embarked on a journey of discovery. Her quest led her down a winding path of experimentation, swapping out refined grains for whole ones, embracing colorful vegetables, and finding joy in the simplicity of fresh fruit. Each deliberate choice tasted like a small victory, initially accompanied by skepticism, but soon blossoming into a steadfast belief in the healing power of each meal. Jenna found herself reconnecting with her body, a process that felt less like denying herself pleasures and more like nurturing an old friend. In sharing Jenna's story, the speaker gently reminds that food, though simple, is charged with emotions and memories. It is in family gatherings around a table laden with dishes where laughter mingles with the aromas of home-cooked meals that bonds are forged. Yet, with the knowledge of her hernia, Jenna learned to navigate these moments with newfound freedom. For her, the switch to a diet rich in fiber was not just a health choice, but a celebration of the flavors that nature has to offer. It sparked conversations among her family, who began to explore their own relationships with food. What began as Jenna's personal journey soon evolved into a shared commitment, inspiring her loved ones to ponder the integrity of their own nutrition. As the stories flow in waves, the speaker emphasizes the nuances of living with hernias and the importance of listening to one's body. This journey invites listeners to go beyond merely following dietary trends that flood social media, encouraging them to foster a deeper connection with what they consume. They pose another thought-provoking question. Have you paused to truly savor your meals, to recognize the sensations and feelings that arise with each bite? Here, an invitation is extended, one that promotes mindfulness and reflection about the act of eating. The speaker reminds the audience that in food selection, there exists the power to wield change. Beneath the surface of every decision about what goes on a plate lies the potential to alleviate discomfort or, conversely, to entrust one's well-being to choices made without care. The room hums with understanding as people nod in acknowledgement of their own journeys, of experimenting with foods that resonate well and those that don't. Through shared laughter infused with vulnerability, the stories foster an atmosphere of unity. As the speaker reflects upon their own experience with hernia management, they share their methodical journey of tracking what brought relief versus what induced pain. They detail how certain common culprits, like spicy dishes or high-fat foods, often demanded more attention than they initially realized, prompting a gradual shift in lifestyle. The speaker recounts a moment during a family BBQ when they too faced that familiar conflict, the desire for a juicy burger versus the nagging hesitance tied to past experiences. It was then that they made the choice to savor grilled vegetables paired with a wholesome grain salad, a decision that not only nourished their body but invigorated their soul. The speaker's heartfelt tale serves to illuminate the path ahead, inviting every listener to recognize their own power in transforming not just their meals, but their lives. As the session comes to a close, the promise of understanding and connection lingers in the air, a commitment to nurturing one another in this shared realm of experience. The seeds of curiosity and contemplation have been sown, opening a door to discovery. What truly lies ahead is not just a journey through the challenges of hernias, but a collective voyage toward empowerment, resilience, and renewed purpose through the choices we make. In this shared space of healing, the commitment to reclaiming one's life takes root, one meal at a time. As the air in the room thickens with anticipation, the voice resumes, resonating with a rhythmic cadence that captures the nuances of the human experience. Each word serves as a thread, weaving a tapestry that celebrates strength amidst struggle. The speaker invites listeners to journey deeper into the reality of living with hernias, focusing not only on food choices, but on the surrounding culture of nourishment, emotions, and community. There's a moment of silence, a collective breath taken, as the speaker reflects on another remarkable story, this time about an elderly gentleman named Thomas. For years, Thomas had navigated life with a hernia that loomed large in his daily existence, often clouding his spirits. Time and again, he faced the daunting task of enjoying meals with family, fraught with the fear of grappling with pain during moments meant for joy. Yet it was a particularly poignant meal, a quiet autumn evening with his grandchildren, that became the turning point. In the midst of laughter and chatter, Thomas found himself watching as his grandkids peeled colorful butternut squash, their small hands diligently working away. It was then, as he helped stir a warm soup simmering on the stove, that an unexpected realization struck him. Food could be as much about connection as it was about consumption. What if he could transform this relationship with food to revitalize his own spirit? Inspired by this newfound perspective, he embarked on a culinary journey that started with small, manageable changes. He began to explore plant-based recipes, embracing vibrant flavors that soothed his soul. His healthful approach soon shifted from a means of avoiding discomfort to a passionate exploration of tastes and textures, awakening a long-dormant joy in the kitchen. With each meal shared, those around him began to witness the gradual radiance in Thomas, not just in his health, but in his essence, as laughter returned to his eyes and warmth to his heart. As the speaker recounts Thomas's experience, they highlight an essential truth. The act of cooking transcends mere preparation. It becomes an opportunity for connection, a bridge between generations, and a testament to the healing potential we each hold. The speaker encourages the audience to reflect back on their own meals and memories, those shared moments that remind us of who we are. In doing so, they pose another question for contemplation. What stories reside within the meals you prepare or enjoy together? With the audience rapt, the speaker delves into the science behind nutrition and hernias, illustrating the power of specific nutrients to influence health outcomes. They lift the veil on the role of fiber in supporting digestive health, painting a vivid picture of how foods like lentils, beans, and whole grains can create an internal sanctuary. It's an amalgamation of knowledge and personal storytelling that creates an atmosphere of enlightenment and engagement. Imagine for a moment, the speaker muses, a meal crafted not just to fill your stomach, but to nurture your very being. Each colorful plate is an ode to vibrancy, a celebration of life and health. The room brims with enthusiasm as listeners begin to visualize their own plates adorned with nourishing foods. Pondering the implications of their choices, the speaker opens the floor to discussions about food sensitivities, the role of mindfulness in eating, and how simple shifts, like chewing slowly or experimenting with new cuisines, can profoundly impact one's relationship with both food and body. The narrative flows effortlessly, igniting a passion for discovery. Transitioning into a more interactive segment, the speaker initiates a lively dialogue among attendees, inviting them to share their culinary adventures and struggles. A brave volunteer, Sarah, recounts her recent expedition into the world of fermented foods, where she found solace in tangy kimchi and creamy yogurt. This shared space of vulnerability creates a powerful alignment among listeners, reminding them that collectively, they are forging a path towards improved health, not just for themselves, but for each other. As the dialogue continues, it becomes clear that healing is not a solitary journey. It thrives in community. Those shared moments of crunching into fresh vegetables, savoring the aroma of herbs, or gathering around a table laden with colorful dishes. With each story exchanged, a newfound resolve forms, an unspoken agreement to support one another in these transformations. The session begins to gently wind down as the speaker reflects upon this tapestry of shared experiences. They remind everyone present that each choice is a step forward, a brick in the foundation of resilience. There is no single path. Rather, it's a mosaic of choices that honor individual needs and shared moments. They leave the audience with a final thought. What if every meal became a celebration, a chance to honor your journey with gratitude and intention? As the lingering warmth of the conversation envelops the room, it's clear that seeds of awareness and empowerment have been sown. Each participant leaves with a renewed perspective and an eagerness to continue exploring the intimate dance between food and wellness. Together, they embark on this collective journey, not just with the goal of managing hernias, but with the aspiration to reclaim the joy of living, one nourishing meal at a time. As the moments stretch into the heart of the evening, the voice weaves a new chapter, drawing everyone in with a gentle persistence. With each word, the speaker opens a window into a realm where stories not only resonate, but evoke a deep understanding of the complex relationship between food, health, and the human experience. The atmosphere becomes still as the speaker transitions to the tale of Maria, a vibrant woman in her late 40s, whose life was undoubtedly painted with colors of passion and vitality. Yet, the shadow of a hernia loomed over her, interrupting the rhythm of her spirited existence. Maria loved hosting gatherings, where she would showcase her beloved recipes passed down through generations, dishes brimming with rich flavors and hearty ingredients. However, every time she whipped up her family's traditional lasagna or handcrafted empanadas, a quiet anxiety would creep in, threatening to overshadow her joyous preparations. One fateful evening, as the delightful aroma of her famous paella filled her kitchen, Maria encountered an epiphany. Surrounded by loved ones, she felt the warmth of their laughter fill the room, but at the same moment, she was keenly aware of the dull ache radiating from her abdomen. With the revelry before her, she questioned, could her cherished foods be her adversaries in disguise? Motivated by this newfound inquiry, Maria embarked on a transformative journey, not just of diet, but of a gastronomic reimagining. Armed with knowledge gained through research and conversations with nutritionists, she started experimenting with alternative ingredients that honored her heritage while nurturing her body. Instead of opting for refined noodles in her lasagna, she swapped them for zucchini ribbons. She discovered the beautiful art of using chickpea flour to create lighter, gluten-free versions of her favorite pastries. Each culinary experiment became an adventure, a delightful exploration of flavor and wellness. Maria's transformation was not merely physical, it was emotional, reverberating throughout her relationships. She invited her family to join her, not just as spectators, but as participants in this joyous reinvention of meals that celebrated health alongside tradition. They gathered one Sunday afternoon, laughter echoing through her sunlit kitchen, as they prepared fresh herb-infused quinoa salad paired with a minty yogurt sauce. The experience deepened connections and sparked joy, transforming the mere act of eating into a celebration of community and love. As the speaker shares Maria's enchanting tale, they emphasize a poignant truth. Food has the power to foster connections, not only with those around us but within ourselves. The audience listens intently, inspired by Maria's journey and the courage it took to transform not only her diet, but her relationship with her heritage. The speaker encourages everyone to reflect on their own culinary pasts, the flavors that define them, and wish to adapt without losing their essence. Have you ever thought, the speaker poses, how the recipes that hold memories may also serve as the starting points for healing? It's an invitation to explore avenues where nostalgia meets intentional nourishment. In a world where food often comes pre-packaged, there's remarkable dignity in returning to our roots, the foods that sparked joy as children and the family recipes stitched together with love. As the dialogue evolves, the speaker touches on the importance of holistic healing, delving into the science of nutrition while seamlessly merging it with the personal stories shared. They illuminate the role of probiotics in digestive health, how fermented foods like homemade sauerkraut or tangy kefir could harmonize the flora within us, creating a balance that could alleviate discomfort for those managing hernias. With enthusiasm, the audience is engaged, nodding along as they consider how integrating these vibrant foods could not only enhance their meals, but enrich their lives. Transitioning into a more interactive part of the night, the speaker invites participation, a moment of open-hearted sharing where individuals recount their experiences and lessons learned. Tara, a stay-at-home mom, stands up, her voice resolute yet tender. She shares how she turned to meal prepping after her diagnosis. That initial challenge transformed into a delightful ritual. Each Sunday, as she prepared a batch of roasted vegetables and whole grain bowls, she discovered a meditative process that provided clarity and peace. The room buzzes with excitement as Tara recounts how her 3 young children, initially uninterested, began to delight in the rainbow of colors found in plant-based meals, leading to a family transformation that has rippled through their lives. The speaker nods appreciatively, recognizing the power of Tara's journey, connecting it back to the wider theme of community and support within family structures. They remind attendees that each shared meal has the potential to nurture not just individual bodies, but families as a whole. As stories unfurl in that sacred space, deeper connections between attendees solidify, unveiling a community committed to shared growth. Through laughter and vulnerability, the speaker weaves in practical tips, presenting a gentle reminder to try mindful eating. Savor the colors, embrace the textures, and let each bite resonate with intention. Relish in the moments when food becomes an act of kindness towards ourselves. The energy is palpable, and each listener feels empowered to embark on their own culinary adventures, not just to manage symptoms, but to reclaim joy in nourishment. As the evening begins to draw to a close, the speaker pauses, their voice softening, yet imbued with resolve. They reflect on the collective journey shared, on the tapestry of stories that reveal both individual struggles and communal triumphs. Healing isn't just a destination, it's a continuous journey we undertake together. Every meal is a new opportunity, a chance to honor our bodies and our stories, weaving health into the essence of who we are. The room resonates with an uplifting spirit, and as attendees prepare to depart, there is an unmistakable sense of camaraderie. They hold the seeds of inspiration, this deep understanding that healing exists in the interactions around meals, not just in the nutritional choices made. With smiles shared and hearts open, they embrace the path ahead, knowing it is colored not only by their choices, but by the connections and support that will carry them forward. In this moment, one thing is clear. Together, they set forth on a collective journey, one meal at a time, filling their plates and their lives not just with sustenance but with love, healing, and a recognition of the beautiful interplay between food, health, and community. In the twilight hours of the evening, the air pulses with a vibrant energy as the speaker invites everyone into yet another layer of discovery. The narrative unfolds gracefully, inviting listeners to delve into the heart of a journey that transcends individual struggles and embraces the communal essence of hope and healing. This chapter centers on the profound reality many face, the interplay of emotional well-being and dietary choices. The speaker begins with a heartfelt narrative about Laura, a spirited teacher in her early 30s, who had devoted her life to igniting a love for learning in her students. Yet beneath her dynamic exterior lay the burden of living with a hernia, which often cast a shadow over her exuberance. Each day, Laura masked her discomfort with humor and enthusiasm, but behind that radiant smile was a persistent ache, a reminder of the internal battle she fought silently. One fateful evening, Laura found herself wandering through the local farmer's market, a place brimming with vitality and colors, the vibrant greens of fresh kale, the sun-kissed tomatoes gleaming under the afternoon sun, and the aromatic herbs wafting through the air. As she strolled, something unexpected happened. She felt an awakening within herself, a quiet urge to reconnect with the very food she had started to overlook in her busy life. Inspired, Laura purchased a bounty of fresh ingredients, and that night, she began a culinary adventure that would change everything. In her kitchen, Laura embraced the concept of creative nourishment. With each chop of garlic and pinch of seasoning, she infused her meals with intention, transforming what could have been a mere obligation into a joyous oratorio of health. She turned to whole foods, rediscovered the charm of cooking from scratch, and explored diverse culinary traditions that honored her palate while respecting her body's needs. She crowded her plates with colorful vegetables, ancient grains, and legumes, but more importantly, she began to understand the significance of mindfulness in her eating habits. "Have you ever prepared a meal that made you feel alive?" the speaker asks, creating a pause that invites reflection. As the audience contemplates, the recollections of their culinary experiences rise to the surface, and the atmosphere hums with shared nostalgia. Laura not only learned about nutrition, but also ventured into a realm where each meal became a playful experiment, a canvas for creativity rather than just a means to satisfy hunger. Her kitchen became a sanctuary, a place where she celebrated both nourishment and wellness, and soon, her students began to notice a change. "Miss Laura," one student remarked during lunch, "you look happier." With that simple recognition, Laura felt a spark ignite within her. She realized that her journey wasn't just about managing her hernia. It was about sharing the joy of health with others. The speaker artfully weaves in the concept of food is love, illustrating how the meals we prepare carry not just nutrients, but also affection, history, and connections that bind us together. As Laura continued to experiment, she discovered that her choices rippled beyond her kitchen. She began inviting her students to join cooking classes after school, transforming her narrative from one of suffering to one of celebration. Together, they explored the art of creating flavorful, nutritious dishes, learning about the role of antioxidants from berries, the importance of omega-3 fatty acids from flax seeds, and the magic of herbs to elevate flavors without overwhelming the palate. Each lesson became an opportunity for connection, for conversation, and for instilling lasting habits that reverberated within their families. The speaker reflects on the profound impact of engaging with food in a community setting. Cooking unites us, they assert. It stirs awareness of our bodies, invites a deeper connection to our heritage, and creates joy beyond the plate. Indeed, through Laura's journey, listeners can sense the transformative power that cooking can wield, not just for oneself, but for everyone involved. Transitioning into a scientific narrative, the speaker elaborates on the benefits of certain foods known to support digestive health. The audience learns about the role of fiber in regulating bowel movements, the potential anti-inflammatory properties of turmeric, and the stress-relieving qualities of magnesium-rich foods like dark chocolate. Each fact flows seamlessly with personal anecdotes, illustrating that nutrition is not just a list of do's and don'ts, but an ongoing journey steeped in self-love, exploration, and joy. As moments of laughter pepper the room, the speaker encourages listeners to think about their own memories of food and healing. They introduce the story of James, a retired firefighter whose long-standing passion for cooking was reignited after years of neglecting his own dietary needs. Following a hernia diagnosis, James began a quest to rediscover flavors that had once been his lifeblood. Each Sunday, he would host potlucks with neighbors, creating heartwarming meals that rekindled bonds of friendship. With stories like James's filling the space, the speaker emphasizes a poignant truth. Food can cultivate community in ways that feel both impactful and intimate. The audience is invited to share their own experiences, building memories around the dinner table, where laughter and nourishment tether them to their past and illuminate their present. As the evening unfolds, the room transforms into a vibrant tapestry of shared experiences. Each tale of triumph over dietary constraints resonates with the core of communal understanding. The speaker, aware of the interwoven nature of human experiences, asks, "What if we approach nourishment as not just a necessity, but an expression of love for ourselves and others?" Amidst the camaraderie, the discussion shifts toward action. Attendees share their goals for the week ahead, how they intend to incorporate new ingredients into their meals, engage children in cooking, and explore farmers' markets, all while nurturing their bodies and souls. The speaker weaves the energy of these conversations into a collective commitment to explore creative avenues that foster resilience both physically and emotionally. In this heartening exchange, stories of growth and change flourish. The realization that healing is not only possible but also deeply fulfilling permeates the room. With hearts full and spirits lifted, attendees leave with a renewed perspective, inspired to embrace their culinary adventures with love and intention. Each meal becomes a tapestry, an artful representation of their journeys, marked by the richness of experiences shared and cherished. As the voice rises to gently close the gathering, there's a lingering promise in the air, one that whispers of hope and togetherness. This journey through food and health is not merely a personal one. It's a voyage taken hand in hand, woven with strands of compassion, resilience, and vibrant connections. A reminder that, together, they can navigate the complexities of their journeys, one nourishing meal at a time.